Hi, my name is Anna. I've been baking for the past 20 years. I've developed a passion for baking from my Italian parents. So join me for some delicious, quick, authentic recipes. I have hundreds to choose from and to share with you. So whether you're just starting out or have an interest in baking, follow me and we'll get inspired. Benvenuti. Today we're making ricotta French toast. It's a classic recipe with an Italian twist. So for this recipe, you will need brioche bread, ricotta cheese, milk, sugar, maple syrup, lemon, salt, cinnamon, and eggs. I'll have the full recipe at the end. Okay, so we're going to start by beating our eggs. We're going to add our salt, our cinnamon, and our milk. We're going to beat that all together. This is one of my favorite recipes using ricotta cheese. So I love French toast, and what better is to pair it up with ricotta. I'm going to add some more milk. There we go. We'll set that aside, and now we're going to mix together our ricotta cheese. Now we're going to mix our ricotta cheese. We're going to add our sugar. And we're going to use half a lemon zest. Makes your French toast taste so good, so delicious. There we go. Now we're going to mix that all together. And this is pretty simple. You don't need to mix it in your machine. Just mix it with a spatula all together so all the sugar and lemon zest are incorporated. There we go. It looks ready. It smells so good already. Perfect. Now we're going to fill our brioche bread. Okay, so we're ready to fill our brioche bread. What I have is a scoop. You can use a piping bag as well, or a fork, whatever you feel comfortable with. So we're going to put ricotta cheese right on it, and we're going to spread it. This is such a easy, quick recipe that will make any brunch just one step. You will delight all your family members. And then you're going to place another one on top and just kind of press it together. If you have a little bit excess, that's okay, just remove it. And then this is what you do with, is you're going to coat it on both sides and then put it on the pan. You can put as much as you like of ricotta filling. I like mine nice and filled, nice and stuffed there. So you get another one. Press it together. There we go. Then we're going to grab one more. There we go. Don't worry if it kind of slides away. You'll just put it back together. There we go. This is such a nice brunch item. one of our favorites at home in my house. There we go. Now it's ready to be baked. French toast is ready to go in the oven. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Oh, it looks so good. See if it needs to be flipped a little. Yeah, just a little bit. So we're gonna take it out. There we go. We'll pop it in for a few more minutes. Okay, so our French toast is ready. Look at that, smells so good. Okay, now we're gonna duster a bit of icing sugar just to make it all look so pretty. There you go. Ricotta French toast is ready to serve. So your French toast is ready. We're going to drizzle a bit of maple syrup over top. Look, that looks so delicious. There we go. So let's give this a try. Looks delicious. Delicious. You could definitely taste the ricotta, the lemon, the cinnamon, the delicious recipe for your friends and family. If you enjoyed this video, press the like and subscribe button. Your support is encouraging. Hi, thanks for joining. Today we're making truffles. I'm going to show you how easy it is to create this at home with a few simple ingredients. You will need cookies. I'm using fettuccine, cream cheese, vanilla, chocolate, sugar, and candy pearls for decoration. Also, because Valentine's is just around the corner, I'm going to add some pink sprinkles. And at the end, I will show you how to package it all together and give it to any of your loved ones. And at the end, I will have the full recipe. That's ready, you can set it aside. Okay, so now we're going to cream your cream cheese and get it all ready for your cookies. Cream that all together. Okay, now that your cream cheese is softened, we will add your cookies. Just mix well. This is such an easy recipe, but delicious. You can use any cookies that you would like. I chose the vanilla, but you can use chocolate, anything of your liking. Just make sure it's all well incorporated. Okay. Now that your mix is ready, you're going to use a cookie scoop and I went with the small scoop. It makes a really nice size of truffles, and I'm going to be using my gloves just to roll them. Once you've rolled them, you want to pop them in the fridge for about a couple of minutes, and you don't want to have them too cold because we're going to dip them in chocolate. So you get one scoop. So you can make these any size you like. They make such a nice dessert, nice little gift. You can definitely use white chocolate, anything you like. Your last truffle. Now we're gonna pop them in the fridge for a couple of minutes and we'll be right back. So now we're going to melt your chocolate on a double boiler. So it's very important to have a smaller saucepan and a larger bowl for your chocolate because you don't want any moisture seeping in the chocolate. And very important to melt it at a very low temperature. Chocolate is ready. Okay, now that your chocolate is ready, your truffles are nice and cool. Make sure that you don't keep them too long in the fridge because you don't want the chocolate to crack. So keep in mind, just keep them in the fridge just to cool them, make them firmer. This way they're easier to dip. Another tip I like giving out is when you place the truffles on the bottom, there's always going to be a flat surface. Really nice to put them in that way. This way they can sit evenly, but if you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but just give it a coat, shake off the excess, and then place it on your parchment paper. And not to worry if you nick any of the truffles while you're placing them on your parchment paper, it's okay. You just get your spoon or fork with chocolate, and chocolate fixes everything, so not to worry. I love making this recipe for friends, for any get-togethers. Right now, if you wanted to add any of the pearls, you could either do it now, you could do it at the end, just before it dries. Now for the decorating part. I have a piping bag. I've got a large one. You could definitely use it, but I'm just gonna cut some off just to make it easier. And you're going to fold your bag over, again, over your hand. This way you don't make a mess and dirty the bag. And then you're going to pour some of your chocolate in, but make sure no water gets into your chocolate. There we go. And then you're going to make a small cut because we want a very fine, delicate decoration. So I'm going to start off by just a bit. You could always test it. A lightly drizzle. See how nice and delicate that looks? Top it as you do a couple because you don't want your chocolate to start drying and then your decoration, your pearls won't stay on. I think that looks so beautiful. It just gives it the nice finishing touch. You don't have to put pearls on all of them, so you could do some without. So I'll leave some without as well. we go. That looks so beautiful, so elegant. So we're going to do some without. You don't have to use a piping bag. You can use a spoon, a fork, whatever you feel comfortable, whatever you have at home. It's fine. Just so you have more control if you use a piping bag. Beautiful. A little tip on how to get the chocolate out of your bag. Just make a larger opening and just squeeze the excess out. This way there's no waste at all. Okay, so your truffles are all ready to be packaged, and I have some small baking cups. It just gives it a nice finishing touch, and it makes it just look so much more professional. There we go. You could arrange them in any which way. And also, remember I said you're going to have an excess chocolate on the bottom. Just give it a little tap and the chocolate will fall nicely and evenly, so it's not going to break off the truffle at all. So I've got some packaging. I'm going to show you how to elevate it just a little bit more extra special. There we go. Now that you have all your truffles in a baking cup, we have a few packaging to show you that you can purchase anywhere at party supplies or anywhere you get your baking supplies. And it's really nice, just brings everything all together. So I've got some silver boxes. Also, just in time for Valentine's, I've got some red hearts or pink hearts. Nice, doesn't that look so pretty? A little bit longer. I have cellophane bags here. It's a really nice option if you don't want to use a box, but this one looks just as beautiful. I'll show you how to fancy it up. Okay, so then you get your ribbon. Just slide it under here. And we'll curl the ribbon as well. Let's find that it gives it that extra finishing touch. And then what you do is just grab the top of your bag and just kind of fluff it out. It just adds much more to the bag. Okay, so let's give this a try. They look amazing. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Let's give it a try. Delicious. Definitely must try. Hi, thanks for joining. Today we're making hazelnut bark. In this easy, delicious recipe, you'll be needing hazelnut Florentine, chocolate, hazelnut to top it off, and also this delicious recipe is excellent for any occasion, but especially for Valentine's that's just around the corner. And at the end, we'll have the recipe and also packaging ideas. We're gonna start by melting your chocolate. We're going to be using a double boiler method. Make sure that your pot is smaller than your chocolate bowl. This way you have no moisture seeping into the chocolate. And always remember to melt your chocolate at a very low temperature. I know sometimes we want this step to go quickly, but the slower you melt the chocolate, the better the chocolate is. It's for the chocolate. So Okay. Okay, so our chocolate is melted, and what I have is a 9 by 11 cookie sheet. And what I've done is I put some parchment paper, it's just easy to release, and I've buttered it just so the parchment paper sticks very nicely. So now your chocolate is ready. You're gonna pour it onto your pan. Such an easy recipe. I love making this for any occasions. All the goodness. And just spread it. And if you're having guests over and you don't know what to make, this makes such an easy time, no time consuming at all. Just give it a bit of a shake to even it all out. There we go. Grab your Florentines and just break them up and kind of place them wherever you like. You can make this with anything, you know, you can make it with white chocolate, you can make it with dark chocolate, you can make it with any nut. I have some coconut already as well, but this is such an easy, quick recipe. So now let's top the chocolate with some hazelnuts and just put them anywhere you see some chocolate. Then we're going to drizzle the finishing touches. Now we're going to let this cool, and then we'll cut it up and show you how easy it is to cut and put together. Okay, now that your bark is ready, I'm gonna drizzle, just make it a little bit more fancy. Just get some of your melted chocolate, and you can use a piping bag, you can use a bottle, but I'm just gonna drizzle on top using my spatula, so you could do whatever you like. Beautiful. Now what I like to do is, if you want, you don't have to put, but you can put sea salt on top, and I'm gonna put it on half. How's that? Okay, so we're gonna wait 5 minutes for the chocolate to dry, and then we'll break it up and I'll show you how to package it. Okay, so your bark is ready to cut. We're gonna remove the parchment paper. This makes it so easy to take it off the tray. Look at that. And just so nicely. So I'm just going to break off a piece. Look at that. And you can free cut it, or you can use your knife. Whatever you want to do. You may want to cut them in smaller pieces, larger pieces. I just kind of freestyle it this way. Isn't that beautiful? Makes such a nice presentation as well. Look at that crunch. Hear that crunch? Perfect, all ready. And now I'm going to show you how to package it. You could use cellophane paper, you could use boxes, any size. You could buy them anywhere that you buy any of your baking supplies. But so easy. And it could be for any occasion. I've got some pink ribbon and some Valentine little tags. Just perfect, because Valentine's is just around the corner. So what I like to do is grab my cellophane paper. And then just grab, and we're gonna just fancy it up. To put it, your ribbon just a bit in the center, and then when you go to tie it, give it a little squeeze, and it's all ready. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide one of these Valentine tags there. And then we're gonna Fold your ribbon. Now also with the box, you can place your bark, and if you like, you could break it up into smaller pieces. Makes for a nice surprise. So again, for any occasion, you can use any ribbon color choice you want. Okay, so we've got your boxed bark, we've got cellophane. I also have this really nice decorating stand ready for Valentine's. Got some coconut ones. It's sure to please any of your loved ones. So try it at home and see how you enjoy it. Time to try. Delicious. Hear that crunch. Definite must try at home. They're easy to transport, and no worry, they all snug together, but they're all safe. Enjoy. Hi, thanks for joining. Today we're making double chocolate parfaits. In this easy recipe, you'll be needing double chocolate pasticcini, whipping cream, whiskey cream, vanilla, cream cheese, and we'll have the full recipe at the end. Okay, so we're gonna start by whipping your cream. Now we're going to cream the cream cheese. I'm going to add a tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla. There you go. I'm going to mix that together. Just makes it nice and creamier. Cream cheese is ready. There we go. Now we're going to incorporate whipping cream. You're going to fold it in. You can put as much or as little whipping cream as you like. It all depends. If you want a real heavy cream cheese presence in your parfait, most definitely, then you could add less whipping cream. But if you want a little bit lighter and fluffier, then you could add more whipping cream. So it's always, I always say, go to follow your heart and your taste buds. There we go. I think our cream cheese is ready. So we're going to fill our piping bag. You're gonna make a small cut, remove the tip, and then insert your decorative tip. And what you can do is actually fold over your piping bag, over your hand. This way it keeps your outer bag clean. So you're gonna fill your piping bag and use your hand to get all the cream out of the spatula. There we go. How nice and clean it is. So you're going to start putting a dollop of whipping cream, or cream I should say, on the bottom of your cup. go. Now we're going to dip our cookies into your coffee and cream and place them on top of your mixture cream. You could soak them just in and out, but if you want to have them a bit more moist, more softer, you just keep them there for about 5 seconds or less, whatever you prefer. This is the same way you would make tiramisu, so use the same method as you would. I always like soaking my cookies a little longer because I love the coffee taste and flavor of the cream as well. So you know, there's no rule. You could do dip them as long as you like, as little as you like. I always more is always a good thing. I like to throw some in. And I left the buttercream on the cookies because it just adds a little bit more. Now you're going to top off with some more cream. It's super easy. Make them a couple days in advance, especially when you have a dinner party. It's so hard to get everything done in one day. There we go. It's really simple to make. You almost have all the ingredients at home. You can whip it up in about 20 minutes. And these could also be made into mini cups, which I love doing if you're going to have a dessert table and you're going to have more than a couple desserts. That's always nice to have, a bite of everything. So once you're done, you're going to get the chopped or crushed cookies and just top them over top. That would look beautiful. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so what I like to do is get a really nice fancy plate or trifle, and I like to place all my parfaits right there. Gorgeous. There you go. Enjoy. So another thing I like to do is pour some of your espresso over top just to finish it off. You can use any liqueur of your choice to add extra flavor. This makes such a beautiful, delicious dessert for any occasion. Now that your parfaits are all ready, you can put them on a tray, a takeout tray that you can find anywhere at your grocery store or any party supply. I like to place mine right on to the tray and make such a beautiful display. There we go. And then you cover it. And no worry, they all snug together, but they're all safe. Enjoy. Delicious. Definitely a must try at home. Hi, benvenuti. Welcome to my channel. Today we're making cream puffs filled with cream. In this easy recipe, for the cream puff, you'll need flour, water, butter, eggs, and salt. And then for the cream, you'll need milk, whipping cream, cornstarch, sugar, lemon, and of course some chocolate for drizzling. So stay till the end, I'll have the full recipe. You're gonna start by warming up your water. So it's 1 cup of water, half a cup of butter, and a 1/4 teaspoon salt. Gonna melt that over medium. You want it to melt your butter and get it to a very low boiling. So once your butter is all melted, you'll see that the water is just boiling very low, and you're going to add your 1 cup of flour. You want to stir. It's going to seem like there's not enough liquid, but no worries. You want to incorporate all the flour with the water until your dough is a bit drier, so all the moisture is gone. Now another little tip is, if you notice your dough is kind of wet, just keep stirring, and you want to create a film at the bottom. So once the moisture is all gone, it's going to be a little bit harder. And if you have some flour that's not incorporated, don't worry, because once you keep stirring, it's going to be all dissolved. So a secret to have a really nice dough at the end, finished dough, is just to get rid of all that moisture. And you want the heat just a bit low. You don't want to cook your dough. You just want to remove all the moisture. Your dough is ready. So now you're going to let it rest for 5 minutes away from heat. Put it in a different bowl to cool off. So let that rest for 5 minutes. Now that your dough is ready, it's rested 5 minutes, it's cooled off. Now we're going to add the eggs. Okay, so I'm going to add my dough in the mixer, and I'm going to use a paddle. You're going to add 4 eggs, 1 at a time. And then just mix with each addition until it's well mixed in, incorporated. Add the last egg. There we go. I think that's ready. Perfect. Okay, ready to pipe. Now your dough is ready, all ready to scoop it out. You could use 2 methods. You could use a piping bag or a scoop. I'm going to use a scoop today. And just fill your scoop with the batter. Not to worry, if they're too close, they'll puff out, but they won't stick, so not to worry about that. So a little tip, sometimes the scoop gives you some uneven topping, so what I like to do is just wet my fingers very gently. This way they're all uniformed when they bake, but you don't have to, because once the cream puff bakes, all those nooks and crannies are nice. See how easy it is? Ready for the oven. Now that our cream puffs are baking, we're going to start with our cream. We're going to use milk, some cream, sugar, and lemon. I want to tell you about the lemon. I like using the lemon peel. So make sure when you're peeling the lemon, you could use the lemon peeler, and make sure you don't take off the white part of the lemon because that's going to give you a bitter flavor. We just want the lemon flavor. I use a potato peeler. It's easy. Just don't cut yourself. Easy to peel. I just like to use maybe a half a lemon. I'm going to start by adding my cornstarch with your sugar. And before you add your milk and cream, just give it a stir so there's no lumps in here. Then you're going to add your 1.5 cups of milk. I like to stir it in between just to make sure it all gets dissolved. And you can add the rest of your milk. And make sure there's no cornstarch on the side of your pot. Once it's all dissolved, you're going to add 2/3 cups of cream. Before you turn your stove on, make sure there's no clumps at the bottom, because cornstarch sometimes does take a little bit of time to dissolve. Once it's all dissolved, I like cooking this on medium. And now you could add your lemon. It's going to give it that nice lemony taste. This is really simple to make. You'll know when it's ready, your cream is ready. It's going to start to thicken. Look at that, starting to thicken. There we go. It's ready. Turn that off. And we'll let that cool. Now that your cream is ready, we have a few important steps to this easy recipe. We have the cream already. Now remember the lemon peels that we put in? We're just going to remove them, okay? And once you mix it, it's going to be smoothed out. Okay, your cream is ready. So let's go fill our cream puffs. Now that your cream is ready, your cream puffs are ready, you could begin by filling them. So easy. I'm using a piping bag. I've used a tip. Also, I'm going to show you, you can definitely cut your cream puffs in half. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. So you could definitely cut your cream puff and fill it that way. Also, what I like to do is get your tip and kind of just make a hole on the bottom of your cream puff. After you've done that, we're going to fill your cream puffs, and I'm going to fold over my piping bag so the bag remains clean. Okay. And use the bag just to clean your spatula. Okay, so let's begin to fill our cream puffs. So definitely grab your cream puff. And you kind of could feel your cream puff getting full. Now with the one that you cut, you could definitely just fill it up and top it. Look how beautiful that is. There we go. So definitely you could fill your cream puffs with the cream that I just showed you. But what I like to do is also, I'm going to add some whipping cream to this. So we're going to add some whipping cream to this. It's going to make it a little bit lighter, but by all means you could use the cream just the way you made it and just give it a bit of a mixture. So the amount of whipping cream is all to taste. Depends if you want to taste a bit more whipping cream. or the cream, but you could do a cup of whipping cream to the ratio of the cream. There, look at that. Look how nice and fluffy that is. Smells delicious. Okay, so again, I'm gonna fold over my piping bag so I keep it nice and clean. I'm going to show you how to decorate them. So we're going to melt some white chocolate at a very low temperature on a double boiler. So make sure that no water seeps into your bowl. And see, that's all it needs. Once, a little tip with white chocolate, once you've got it to the melting consistency, just remove it off out of heat. So now we're going to melt some dark chocolate, again on a double boiler, low heat. Finish off melting. Okay, so now we're going to use, I'm going to use white chocolate and some dark chocolate. So what I like to do is dip your cream puff in the white chocolate. You could definitely do anything, you know, any chocolate of your choice, decorate them any which way. It also depends on the event you're having. Put a cherry on top. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You could use a knife, you could use your fingers just to break it up a bit. There we go. Also, I'm going to show you how to do for individual, if you're having guests at your house, so you definitely could do this way, and then I'll show you how to platter it. So what I like to do is grab my cream puff. You can make them smaller, the cream puff smaller. And I'm going to do actually one more, and I'm going to use the one that I cut in half. So what I like to do also, you're going to take your chocolate and you're going to drizzle it, okay? You could do it with your spatula, you could do it with a fork, spoon, whatever you feel comfortable. By all means, you could also slide it off and put it onto a plate for a nice clean finish. You could do the Parfait roll type, 4 or 5, 3 to a cake board. You can make them, dip them with white chocolate, cherries on top. Or another way I like doing is I keep the chocolate on the pan. I think it looks so beautiful. Smells so delicious. Then I like to add a bit of sprinkles. Just makes it just a little bit more fancy. Now we're going to plate them. Doesn't that look beautiful? There we go. This will surely please your guests. Gorgeous. You could have a party and get the kids involved, because I think that's so much fun. I'd be like all over that. There you have it. Cream puffs in 3 different decorations. So try this at home and see how it works for you and your guests. So now it's time to try. So here we go. We've got a beautiful presentation. We're going to cut through. Look at that. Look at that fluffiness, the cream. Just beautiful. Now let's give it a try. Delicious. Definitely a must try at home. So subscribe to my channel for some delicious, quick, easy recipes. it looks so good, so delicious. Amazing. Definitely have to try this at home. Just amazing. Hi, my name is Anna. I've been baking for the past 20 years. I've developed a passion for baking from my Italian parents. So join me for some delicious, quick, authentic recipes. I have hundreds to choose from and to share with you. So whether you're just starting out or have an interest in baking, follow me and we'll get inspired. Hi, benvenuti. Today we're making a traditional Italian dessert called Sfince di San Giuseppe. It is a dessert that's almost like a donut. It is celebrated on March 19th, which is St. Joseph's Day, and also it's Father's Day in Italy. So for this recipe, you'll need flour, butter, salt, eggs, ricotta cheese, water, and for garnish, orange peels, cherries, mini chocolate chips, icing sugar for dusting, and oil for deep frying. I'll have the full recipe at the end. Okay, we're gonna start by bringing our water and butter with salt to a slow boil. It's almost there. So now we're going to add your flour. Just mix until it all gets incorporated. So you want to just mix until the water reduces. So we're going to lower that just a bit. Don't worry, all the flour is going to get mixed in quite well. There we go, and we're going to let this cool for about 5 minutes before we add our eggs. Okay, so now your dough has cooled off. So we're going to put it in your mixing bowl with the paddle, and we'll give that a mix. Okay, so we're going to add the eggs one at a time. So once it just incorporates a bit, you add the other eggs one at a time. Okay, your dough is ready. So you want to mix it until it's all nice and smooth. See that? There's no lumps in the batter there. So now we're going to put oil in our pot because we're going to deep fry them. And you want it to reach temperature of 160 to 170. So we want to reach the temperature of 160 to 170 Celsius. Almost there. Dropping your dough. I'm going to use a piping bag. Again, fold over the bag so the bag stays nice and clean. And again, with your spatula, just with your hands, clean the spatula. So there's a couple of ways you can use a parchment paper and make your design. Okay, And then we're gonna drop it in the oil, and it's gonna release from the parchment paper, not to worry. There you go. And then we're gonna do the same for another. The shapes don't matter, but the tradition is still there. What I like sometimes doing is just grabbing your fork and putting oil over. Don't burn yourself. We'll do another. You could definitely bake this one as well. It's almost done. There you go. And make them nice and golden brown. This way they're baked, they're cooked right through the center. There we go. Beautiful. Your sfinges are ready, which is your donut. We're going to mix your ricotta cheese and sugar. And of course, mini chocolate chips. This is a traditional recipe, and it's a must, having the tiniest chocolate chips in there. You don't want to put too many, just enough to kind of have the taste of chocolate, bit of sugar with the ricotta. Smells so good. There we go. We're ready. So when you're slicing your orange peel, you're going to remove the skin of the orange, the white part. You want to just keep the orange, the outer skin, but not the inner skin. Otherwise it will give you a bit of bitterness, and we don't want to add that to our beautiful dessert. Okay, now that your sfinges are ready, we've mixed our ricotta cheese, and we have our garnish and some powdered sugar to dust them. So all you want to do is just grab a spatula and you just put it on top. It doesn't have to be very decorative or pretty. This is how we enjoy it, okay? And we just put it there. Very rustic. We just spread it on top. You could definitely also just dust them or put them over some sugar, some granulated sugar. That also is very nice as well, if you don't want ricotta cheese. So that's how delicious these are. So it looks so nice and pretty with the ricotta and the mini chocolate chips. There we go. Once they all have the ricotta cheese, what you're gonna do is get your orange zest. I think I have one more. Then you're gonna grab your cherries. You can half them. You can put a larger one. I think they all have. Then you're going to dust them off with some powdered or icing sugar. There you have it. Sfince di San Giuseppe. I also wanted to mention, we also put pistachio chopped finely around your sfinge. It's a tradition. The orange peels, the cherries just bring out the flavor of the ricotta. It's just amazing combined together. So I will have the full recipe on how to make your candy orange peels. So there you have it. Your sphinges are ready. Definitely smell the flavors, but enjoyed in our culture. We enjoyed in the mornings or throughout the day, because these are just made for the March 19th for St. Joseph's Day. But also you want to bring to your family and friends. They'll surely enjoy it. And it's such a special Father's Day in Italy that you want to share with your friends and family. So we have, you could have a nice dish to display it. We have a to-go that you could place them in. This way they don't get all, the ricotta doesn't spread out everywhere. And just grab a few. You can get larger boxes, smaller boxes, and that's how I give them to my family and friends. And they surely will enjoy them. So now let's give them a try. It looks so good, so delicious. Let's give it, it smells so good. Amazing. You definitely have to try this at home. Just amazing.